Hello and welcome. In this video, we will learn about if-else statement. Alright. Now, a lot of times in real life and also in programming, we will have to make decisions. Like, if something is true, something has to be done. If something is not true, something else needs to be done. And this is what if else statement does. Okay? Let me explain the concept with an example. I will write a program which asks the users to enter their age, and according to the value that they enter, it will tell if they are eligible to vote or not. Alright. So here I will say age is equal to int input enter your age. Okay. And next I will use the if else statement. The syntax of if-else statement is this. Alright. If and then a condition and a colon. After that, a statement. Next, else and a colon and then a statement. Alright. Now, what should be the condition here? What is the minimum age to vote? The minimum age in India to vote is 18 years. And so, the condition here will be age greater than 18. Okay? If age is greater than 18, then do this. Do the statement. What do I want to do? I want to say you are eligible to vote. Alright. So this is what I want to do if this becomes true. Alright. If this is not true, then I want to print you are not eligible to vote. Alright. Let me run the program. It says enter your age. I will enter 19 and hit enter, and it says you are eligible to vote. I will clear this and run the program. It says enter your age. I will enter 17 and it says you are not eligible to vote. Alright. Now, how does this work? I am saying if this is true, then do this and skip this. Okay? You know that whenever we have logical and comparison operators, the result of the expression will be either true or false. The Boolean values, right? We learnt it in the previous video. So the result of this will be either true or false. If the user enters a value greater than 18, then this will be executed and this will be skipped. If the user enters a value which is less than 18, then this will be skipped and this will be executed. Alright. So this is how if else statement works. We have condition only in if. The else does not need a condition. Whenever this is false, this will be executed automatically. Alright. Now, you must remember to put this colon and this colon here. And you must remember to indent this. This is called as indentation. The common standard is to use 4 spaces. So I have 4 spaces here before the print statement. Alright, let me clear this and let me remove the space. When I run this, I will get an error because it is not indented. Okay, so give 4 spaces and the program will work properly. Alright, now I will write one more program which will ask the users to enter a number and then tell them if the number is positive or negative. Okay, let me delete this and say number is equal to int, or let it be float. Input, enter a number. Alright. Next, I will say if number is greater than 0, print, okay, the number is positive. Else, colon, print, the number is negative. Alright, let me run this and enter 9 and it says the number is positive. Let me clear this and run the program. It says enter a number and I will enter minus 1.3 and it says the number is negative. Okay. Now here, if the number is greater than 0, this will be executed. This will be skipped. If the number is less than 0, then this will be skipped and this will be executed. Alright. Let us improve the output. I will say number is positive and here I will say number is negative. But since I am using a placeholder here, this has to be F string. So I will say F here. Okay. So let me run this. It says enter a number. I will enter 7 and it says 7 is positive. Okay. I will run this and it says enter a number. I will enter minus 9 and it says minus 9 is negative. Alright. Let me clear this. Now, what if I have multiple conditions? Here I have only one condition, right? If we have multiple conditions, we use else if. Okay. Let me teach you with an example. Here is the example. I want to write a program which asks the users to enter their age and weight. And then, according to these conditions, the program has to say if the person is qualified, underage or underweight. Alright. So let me write the program and explain it to you while I'm doing it. Okay. I will delete this and I will say age equal to int input, enter your age. Okay, and then I will say weight float input, enter your weight. All right. Next, I will say if, and then what is the first condition? Age is greater than 18 and weight is greater than 40. Age greater than 18 and weight greater than 40. A colon, and then print qualified. Okay, qualified. So this is our first condition, age greater than 18 and weight greater than 40. All right. Next, the second condition, age is less than 18 and weight is greater than 40. This is the second condition. When we have multiple conditions, we use else if, which is shortened to elif in Python. Okay, age less than 18 and weight greater than 40. Okay, print underage. All right, print underage. Next, I have age is greater than 18 and weight is less than 40. I will have one more elif and write the condition here. Weight less than 40 and print underweight. All right. So let me run this. It says enter your age. I will enter 19. Asks weight. I will enter 50 and it says qualified. 19 is greater than 18. So this is true. And 50 is greater than 40. So this is also true. We know that when both are true in AND, the result will be true. So when this is true, this gets executed and the rest will be skipped. Okay, let me clear this and run the program once again. I will enter the age as 17 and weight as 80. Okay, and it says underage. This is false, this is true, and so this will be false. When this is false or when this becomes false, this will be skipped and here the conditions will be checked. Age is less than 18 here in this case and weight is greater than 40. So this is true and so this will be printed out and this will be skipped. All right. Let me clear this and run the program once again. I will enter 20 and 30. It says underweight. This becomes false and so this will be skipped. This will be checked and this also becomes false and so this will be skipped. Next, this will be checked and when it becomes true, this will be executed. Okay, let me clear this and let me replace this with else. All right, let me run this and I will enter the age as 24 and weight as 30. It will tell underweight. Okay, this is false, so this will be skipped. This is also false, so this will be skipped, and so automatically this will be printed out. All right, so this is how we use if else statement. All right, now I have an exercise for you. I want you to write a program that asks the users to enter their mark. If the entered mark is greater than or equal to 90, the output should be the grade is A. If the mark is greater than or equal to 80, then the output should be the grade is B, or your grade is B, and so on. If the mark is less than 50, it should say your grade is F, or you failed the exam. All right, so try this out. Now we will learn about conditional expressions. All right, a conditional expression is a one-line shortcut for an if-else statement. Okay, now let me teach you how it works. This is the syntax of a conditional expression. All right, I will explain this with an example. Now here I have written a program which checks if a number is positive or negative. All right, it takes a number input from the users and then stores it in this variable. All right, after that it checks if the number is greater than 0. If it is greater than 0, then this will be true, and so this will be executed. If the number is not greater than 0, then this will be false, and so this will be executed. All right, you know how an if-else statement works, correct? Now let me run this program and let me move this. It says enter a number. I will enter 8 and it says the number is positive. Okay, now this if-else statement can be written in a single line using a conditional expression, and let me show you how. Here I will say print, and in brackets I will copy this syntax of a conditional expression and paste it. Okay, in this place I will copy this and paste it. In the place of condition, I will copy the condition and paste it. In the place of this statement, I will copy this and paste it. All right, now this single line will get me the same result as this. All right, now before I run this program, I will comment this out because I do not want this to be executed. Okay, to comment this out or to make it non-executable or to make the Python ignore this, select it and press and hold Control button and press the / key on your keyboard. And when you do that, hash symbols will be placed at the beginning of each lines, meaning this will be commented out. All right. If you want to remove the hash symbols, select them once again, and while holding Control button, press the / key once again. Okay, this is one way. The other way is to wrap this or enclose this in between triple quotes. Okay, so here I will have 3 quotes and here I will have 3 quotes. So whatever is in between triple quotes will be ignored by Python. Okay, so now this will not be executed by Python. Now let me run this. It says enter a number. I will enter -6 and it says the number is negative. Now this is the result of execution of this line. Okay. So what happened here is when I entered -6, this was converted to an integer and was stored in this variable. And then this condition was checked. If this was true, this would have been printed out because this is inside a print statement. If this became false, then this would have been printed out. Now the number -6 is negative and it is less than 0, meaning this is false, and so this is printed out. The number is negative. Alright. So what we are saying is print this if number is greater than 0. Else print this. Okay. So using a single line, we have achieved the same thing that we had achieved using this. Alright. Now let me clear this. This is one thing that we can do with a conditional expression. I will show you one more thing which can be done using a conditional expression. Now, I will comment this out. I do not want this to get executed. And in the next slide, I will say result is equal to, and then copy this syntax and paste it here. In the place of statement, I will copy this. In the place of condition, I will copy and paste the condition. In the place of this statement, I will copy and paste this. Okay. And then I will print the result out. Alright. Let me run this. It says enter a number. I will enter 4 and it says the number is positive. So what happens here is when we enter a number, it will be stored in this variable and then this condition will be checked. If this becomes true, then this will be stored as a string inside this variable. If this becomes false, then this will be stored as a string inside this variable, and then we are printing whatever is stored in the variable. Alright. So when I entered 4, this became true, and so this was stored in this variable and was printed out. Okay. So this is one more thing we can do with a conditional expression. Alright. Now let me clear this out and let me clear this too, and I will delete this too. Okay. Now I will write a program which takes a number as input from the users and then tells if the number is even or odd. Okay. First, I will write the program using an if-else statement. and then I will convert it to a conditional expression. Alright. Yes. So here I'm taking an input from the users, and now I will say if number percentage 2 is equal to 0, then print the number is even. Okay. Next, else print the number is odd. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm taking an input from the users and storing it in this variable, and then I am dividing the number by 2, and after dividing the number by 2 I am checking if I am getting any remainder or not. Okay. You know that when we use percentage symbol, we get the remainder of the division, right? So here I am checking if the remainder is equal to 0. If we do not get a remainder, then the number is even, and so I am printing it out. If we are getting a remainder, meaning remainder is not equal to 0, it means the number is odd, and so I am printing it out. Alright. So let me run this and enter 69. It says the number is odd. I will clear and run the program. It says enter a number. I will say 48, and it says the number is even. Okay. So let me clear this. Now I will improve the output. Okay. I will remove this and have a placeholder, and inside the placeholder I will say number. And when we use placeholders, we need to have f, meaning this is an f string. Okay. And here too I will say number and then have an f here. Okay. I will run the program and enter 8. It says 8 is even, and I will clear this, run the program and enter 9. It says 9 is odd. Okay. Now I will convert this into a conditional expression. Okay. So let me comment this out, and here I will say print, and in brackets I will copy this syntax and paste it. In the place of this statement, I will copy the entire f string and paste. In the place of condition, I will copy this and paste. And in the place of this statement, I will copy this and paste. Alright. Now let me run it. It says enter a number. I will say 85, and it says 85 is odd. Okay. So this is working as intended. Alright. So this is about conditional expressions. Now, the conditional expression is equivalent to a ternary operator in other programming languages. Alright. If you do not know any other programming languages, do not worry about it. Next, we can have a conditional expression for an if-else statement with multiple conditions too. But then the conditional expression will start to become complex. So it is better to use a conditional expression when we have only one condition, like here. Alright? Yes. So this is it for this video. I will see you in the next video. Till then, take care and thank you for watching.